that I'm not paying it, you should have accepted it because I know you took it out of my trade. So rather than have that all over again, and it was ANZ trustees, they liquidated. They don't exist then. Why did they liquidate? Because over in America, they would have had to fill in a Form 10K document that actually has to go to the Security Commission, and one of those questions is what legal process are you in? So rather than have to give them that in America, they just liquidated. So in essence, I probably didn't win the thing, but I got the ANZ trustees liquidated because they knew they didn't want this coming into court. This man here has asked me on a number of occasions, okay, what am I worth, when do I get it? How do I get it? Is that a good question? Yes. Or not?
I want to know that question.
Yeah, that's okay. But let's assume you're worth 15 million bucks and you will be worth more than that. But let's say everyone gets 5 million bucks.
Just saying $1 billion.
Do you know what would happen to the economy of Australia and to you? Every work structure will just stop because you don't have to go back to work.
Oh, that's great.
You won't get your rubbish collected, you won't get anything
I don't
happening.
have any rubbish, I haven't been any weeks.
I'll have to get you off the jury in a minute. You must be half pissed, I reckon. You can't even let a pissed jury on there. But in the meantime, my graciousness let us sit there. But that's sort of running out. In the meantime, common sense must prevail here. If you just go gung-ho criminal charges, they're all criminals, you'll walk into a Masonic trap. What's the trap? Order out of chaos. They have to create chaos, i.e. removing the Crown, and the Queen has already created that. Everything's in chaos. The judiciary system's not sitting, bank system's not sitting properly, everything's not sitting properly. Your chaos can flick over if you make the wrong call here. It just automatically walks into it. Now what I said to Chris Maxwell, the President of the Court of Appeal, I said if we continue to delivery charge everyone that we can, we're going to cause judicial chaos. But how about we do it this way? You give me the right to get a grand jury indictment, criminal indictment, and I will permit a suspend all them sine die. I'm not removing them, but we will make it a trial of the issue. I'll permit that, I'll grant that. But if you don't let that happen, then we'll end up having to charge you for not letting it happen. That's where it's at now. Now this guy asked me before, well that was sort of done down in Bendigo 3 years ago, nothing happened. 3 years ago I didn't know we had a trustee. Is that a fair comment? But I'm still perplexed thinking, well, why don't they deal with it in law? Fair question? But when you call this Commonwealth election, the last one, who signed the election writ? Who signed the election writ for your senators in Victoria? Can anyone answer that question?
The Governor General.
No, I'm talking Victoria.
You
do not have a Governor General in Victoria.
No.
You have a governor.
Sorry.
Jerry, somehow or other, can you find something over there about that governor substitutes himself, please? Because this is a critical issue. Did a governor of Western Australia chuck the Queen out? Okay. Have I proved that beyond reasonable doubt? Okay. Did the same governor sign the election writ for the senators of Western Australia 3 months later?
Yes.
Is that a yes or no?
Probably.
Would that make the governor, would that make that writ invalid?
Should.
Yes.
So we've got 12 senators all picked from this election writ by the electors of Western Australia who never knew the Crown had gone. That's non-disclosure, that's fraud. So the 12 senators jump on an aeroplane, go and sit in Canberra. Have they brought the act of treason to Canberra? Can the senators and House of Reps now introduce bail-in legislation when they're sitting as criminals? Have they introduced that legislation?
Yes.
So how do you deal with it? Real simple. Charge all your 12 senators for grand jury work, co-joined with Rob Holt. Simple as that. Isn't it?
Should be.
No, not should be, is. That's simple. No, I want the one. The 4 and then the 3. Governor substitutes himself. That piece of header. Because where the 1A4 is over there, where it says Governor substitutes himself, that deals with 3 areas of law. And we'll wait till Jerry can actually find it. Not putting pressure on you, Cobber. But if you need assistance, get someone to help you there. But that particular A4, because I've done A4s, and to be gracious to you, I'll tell you why. The Aussie is usually not the sharpest tool in the workshop. I'm saying that graciously. Because they're not thinking this through to cause and effect. You've got a trap set for you. You can't stop that trap. But you can make it so public that everybody knows. Sorry. That there says Governor substitutes himself. Can you go hold that before you rack off? Now, that's a pretty simple A4. Now, I do it because the Aussies concentration span is 2 pages. Fair comment?
Yep.
An A4 gives you 3x there. You've got, this is the West Australian Act, chuck the Queen out, substitute the governor. This is the Australia Act 7, Section 7, not valid or whatever, don't matter here, but it says that the governor of the state is the representative of the Queen. The problem is that back down the bottom, chuck the Queen out and he took over. Work that out. But the section in the middle says Section 12 of the Commonwealth Constitution, the governor issues the writ for the senators of the state. Now how can he do it when he chucks the Queen out? So are they sitting legally in Canberra?
No, none of them.
Who have you charged? No. Oh, please. Are you saying we let the criminals run away with the loot? Because you are the loot. But what they did in West Australia, then they just got in a truck and drove across the Nullarbor and said, we can do this in Victoria and nobody's going to stop us. Is that correct or incorrect? But when I look at signs that says trespassers will be prosecuted, and I say, well, did you prosecute the trespasser? Oh, gee, mate, well, that cost me. I'll say, it'll cost you property and your life if you've done it. Because their program is to kill anyone who does not submit to the program.
That's right.
That's scripturally exposed. So you've got to work out, what are you doing here? My own grandson went to 18, so he voted. I said, did you check the election writ? He doesn't know what I'm talking about, but neither do you. So we're going from the 18-year-old to the 70-year-old, and they're getting away with this. Can the governor substitute himself?
No.
Why did you let him do it? And then the High Court, Supreme Court, Chris Maxwell said, sorry, we're right now. He said, but Mr. Shaw, that's the West Australian problem, not ours. Don't bring it in here. We're the Supreme Court of Victoria. I said, you've got a big problem with that. And here's you've got to talk what you call legal jargon. If you don't know it, you pretend you know. It's what you call causal link. That is, how does the West Australian problem link to Victoria? The Senate writ links them. Simple as that. That governor issued the Senate writ. This governor over here issues the Senate writ. But when they all get together in Canberra, they're all attainted of truth, including the one who issued the writ. And Your Honour, there's your causal link. Now deal with it. But why have you brought this over to me, Jerry?
Here.
Oh, sorry.
That's it.
You're ahead of me, come on. But
Always.
who is your Victorian Electoral Commissioner? This is the guy who calls your councils to be elected. He's also your guy who causes your state elections to happen and contributes to the Commonwealth elections, etc. Who is that man? What's his name? Because that's his picture right there. But you're sitting on the jury and that's the wrong answer. He said Damien Buck. But I will address that. Who is Damien Buck? But he was, at one point, the Director of Commonwealth Prosecutions. He's been the one stopping all this. What was he before he was your Commonwealth Public Prosecutor? Big no? No.
Tasmania.
He was actually a Tasmanian DPP who never let Martin Bryant go to trial. I wonder why. Are we going to ask the sucker. But in the interim, this is your Victorian Director of, or he's your Victorian Electoral Commissioner. What was he before he came across the Nullarbor? This little sucker. We're looking at this sucker. This one. What? Sorry, I'm going to have to chuck you off that jury in a minute because that grog's work. But,
Two.
well, it's working. But in the interim, what was he before he come to the Victoria? He was the West Australian Electoral Commissioner. Hang on. Shouldn't he have called the referendum in West Australia under Section 73 of the West Australian Constitution? He knows that, didn't do it. But, different question. What was he before he became the West Australian Electoral Commissioner? Anybody know that? He was the commander of the warship that went into Timor. So is that UN military?
Yep.
That's why they gave him the other job. He'd probably be picking up 2 salaries. As still as working military, and now he's the one forming all your councils. So should you address the council or just charge this sucker? That's why you can sit in the Supreme Court, just like I can hear all this, because he knows he's under diplomatic immunity from the UN. Now, do you want to tolerate that?
No,
Do you want to tolerate it?
no way.
But what do you want to do about it?
Can we do that?
Sign that piece of paper and let me go and roll polls. Absolutely. Because if you don't, none of us know what to do. Is that fair comment? Okay, I'm quite happy to be your rabbit. Because I have to stop Rob Holes doing what he's done.
How many signatures do you want, Brian?
It doesn't matter. I can only get signatures for those who want to sign them.
Well, can
I'm
I
not
take them
force
away?
Anyone.
Do you do take away?
Think so?
Do you do take away?
I don't know what you mean by taking.
Well, if I take 20 or 30 of them and get people...
Fine, that's fine. Send them to me. My post office box is box 800 Werribee. I don't live there, but I keep it as my address as though I still live there. Because I've got Julia Gillard charged. Now, is Julia Gillard a Commonwealth politician in Werribee now?
No.
Who is? Now, I'm going to tell you something here, and I don't give a hoot what the ramifications, Jerry, please, what the ramifications are. I signed common law grand jury for 22 people in Werribee, specifically naming Joanna Ryan. She's the one who followed Julia Gillard. Fair comment? But sitting at the other end of the table, and I'm doing it by JP, was Rob Curlton. And I said, do you want to sign one of these? Didn't want to, didn't do it. But when I walked it into her office, I said, you're going to walk in as the witness? He went over the other side of the road and hid behind the lamppost. And now he's saying, oh, I'll look after you.
He's the same one in the Privy Council.
But as he's walking up the road 100 yards ahead of us, so he's not with us, I said, Callerton. The CEO says, is that Callerton standing over the road there? He wants to talk to you, so he walked quicker. You get my point? He can't say that's all crap because that happened, because it was in my car when we went there. And I said, if you continue to conceal what you've done in West Australia, I'm criminally charging you on 15 counts. You can jump out of the car now if you want, but I'm not slowing down.
You've told me that story.
Absolutely.
Can I ask you the name of that person again?
What name?
Yeah, what name?
Rodney Carrot.
You guys given his name?
Rodney Carleton.
Today is all over.
Rodney Carleton.
Saying I'm a good guy and I'm going to
The
London,
gap.
I'm going to fix it. The problem is, he didn't fix it in West Australia because he knows his election writ, not what the paper is written on.
Yeah,
That's
you
not
told
the
him,
issue
Glenn.
he's doing, is it? Not the issue he's doing. Because at the time of his purported election, he was a nominated candidate for the One Nation. Problem is, could One Nation legally be in West Australia? No. Crown out. No. Answer your questions. Now, here comes the problem with Lamentations chapter 2. That's the whole slaughter of Israel. I'm going to give you a really hard question here, because it's going to become a question of fact in the jury trial. Were you in that slaughter? To answer it, you've got to say, I haven't got a clue. That's the correct answer. But if I put it, because it's Old Testament, if I put a rabbi in the witness box and say, have you revealed that chapter in the synagogue? What will the rabbi answer? He'll say, oh, I want the right to remain silent. Exactly what he'll say. But the problem is, why has that chapter never been revealed by any church in Australia? Why? Now, I've made that chapter 1 exhibit number 1. Exhibit number 2 is Ezekiel 37, the resurrection of Israel. Only God can do that. Were you in the resurrection? You don't know. Because it's a jury question. The question of fact, the preachers will say, I can't preach that because I don't know. Well, why are you a preacher if you haven't read the book? Why are you a politician if you haven't read the law? Why are you a counsellor if you don't know you're not even legal? Why are you issuing rates when I can pray that with a promising note? And you should accept it, because if you don't, I'm charging you for sitting there. My rates are paid. Don't sit there and say, oh, somebody told me not to pay the rates. You can be bankrupt the next Friday, the next day in the federal court. We had a situation here where we just uncovered it today, where they lost their house here in this town on an ex parte judgment. Ex parte means you didn't even know the hearing was happening. And it took them 5 years to get the house back. So first they knew it, the sheriff's ringing them saying, I have to evict you in 10 days. So how are you talking about? That person did not know that it had all gone through the federal court, no one coming to the defence because they were not notified of the action. So they get the judgment, they come ex parte. Exactly what they did with Paul Rutledge in Bendigo.
Rates are illegal.
I'm not saying rates are illegal at all. I am saying...
Section 51 of the Constitution, Commonwealth Constitution, says that a matter must be heard with the defendant in the court. You can't have a case heard without the defendant there. Yeah. It's in Section 51.
The problem is, when you rely upon that, they will totally disregard it, go to the federal court, get ex parte, and stop all your bank accounts so you cannot get anyone to help you. And now, and to go talk this with Paul Rutledge in Bendigo, because I've never seen a more critical matter, ever. Paul Rutledge now drives around Bendigo in a motorised push bike. The cops have booked him for riding a motorbike without a licence, because that's all he's got left. Because the moment they attacked his house and put him in the divvy wagon, he didn't get out of the remand centre for 1 year and 1 month.
Well, on what grounds have they given him there?
The point I'm making is, if you don't know the law, you don't know how to get out pretty quick. But in the interim, Bendigo Council sold both titles, left him with nothing but a motorised push bike. Cops then followed behind and booked him for riding a motorbike. I was there in the magistrate's court when it was all brought up. I stepped up and I said to the magistrate, he doesn't understand what you're talking about. Who are you? Go and sit down. Then they wanted to run this 40-minute video on picking him up. The cops had all that. And I said to the cops, the magistrate stepped off the bench while we were watching that. And I said to the cops, do you really want to watch that 40-minute video? How about you let me take him outside? Because Paul had been saying to the magistrate, I can't get legal representation because they're all corrupt in their lives. Well, you really don't say that like that in the court.
We know that.
But you do not say that like that in the court. But when I got him outside, I said, Paul, you're a village idiot. Go back there and say to that magistrate, I do not want to go ahead until I get a lawyer. Now here comes the point. This is the point. Would someone who's actually thinking hire a law firm